All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX, right here in East Tennessee. Wanted to bring in an update here on the severe weather situation. Time now is 11:04 Eastern Time here on Friday. Hope you're doing well. Had some severe weather earlier. Unfortunately, I was not able to get on the air. But you can see we've had a few reports of tornadoes in Louisiana. This was late last night, specifically towards the Alexandria area. But let's go ahead and get started with what's happening right now. I'm going to put some data on here. Let me turn this music down a little bit here. That way we're not distracting as best we can. If you're in here, let me know who's in the chat. Love to know who's here. Let's get a look at all of our current statements that are in progress here. It looks like we don't have any watches in effect just yet. I'm going to double check, make sure we're not missing anything. Yeah, I don't see any watches in effect right now, but we do have a line of some strong storms that just came through Mobile, Alabama, Jackson, and Baldwin counties in southern Alabama. You can see we've got a few reports of tornadoes. Got one near D's, public report via X. Got another report of a possible tornado. This is 3 miles southwest of Hutchins Elementary, I think is what that is, in Alabama. Southern Oaks Trail subdivision sustained tree and structural damage. A number of snapped trees and limbs were reported down. Some parts of the neighborhood sheds were flipped over or moved. One family did say that they had a large tree limb that came in. Down here just to the southeast about Bayou Albatry. If you ever seen Forrest Gump, that's what they're talking about there. This is 4 miles southwest of Delchamps, Alabama. Public reported wispy condensation funnel producing small tree debris being lofted up from a nearby bridge. No obvious damage to be found on the ground. Appears to have occurred in a heavily wooded area with no road access. So these are definitely causing some mischief, so to speak, out there. Let's go ahead and grab the chat and see who's all in here. Chris, Radio and Life, Katie, 9YSW is in the house. Appreciate him being here. Tim's here. Hello from Kentucky. Chris in 9XC. Chris is here from Middle Tennessee. Thanks for being here, my friends. Appreciate you guys being here. Not going to do a long one tonight. We're just going to kind of take a look and see what's going on. So we are on the, this is the Mobile radar site right now. And you got some storms still back here around Biloxi, but the strongest of the storms is right here from about Atmore down to just south of Mobile. You can see it's got this Boeing segment here. I'm going to query the wind data here and take a look at what that looks like. Nothing just obvious screams tornado or anything. We definitely got some strong winds going on the leading edge of this right through here. You can see that right here in the radar velocity data. So definitely some strong winds getting ready to move out of Alabama into Florida as we speak. Let me zoom out. We'll go back to the single view pane, give you an overview of the synopsis of the situation currently. Here we go. Wait on this to load. All right, so your low pressure center has moved. It's actually stretched way up into Iowa now. You remember last night it was over here near the Arklatex region. Now it's up into Iowa. You got a occluded front right here with another mesa low right here around Florence, Alabama. Got a warm front lifting through the state of Alabama, with a cold front / stationary front that extends from Florence all the way down into Louisiana, converts back to a warm front through Texas. So you've got another clash of two different air masses here. So right in here's your warm sector. Okay. And back in here is your cold air. Okay, so you have conflicting air masses here. That's your problem. When you have the conflicting air masses, you're going to get thunderstorms. You can see we also have a stationary front just off of the east coast of the United States from about Jacksonville, Florida, up through the Outer Banks and just to the east of Virginia Beach. Looking out around the rest of the nation, you can see we've got quite a winter storm going on up here into Wisconsin right now. And then you got another system back here off the Pacific Northwest. But you can see we've got several reports of tornadoes in over the past couple of days here. And it's only going to continue, folks. We're going to see this again tomorrow. So what I want to do is, that is not what I want. What I want to do is I'm going to change this to keep this on visible satellite, okay? I want to get rid of the surface data. If I can remember how to do that. It's still a little difficult for me to navigate this thing. That's hurricane. Where is my surface analysis? Oh my goodness, I never can find it. Oh well. We'll get by without it. Let's take a look at the day one. So right now we still have a marginal risk of severe weather for the southern part of Alabama, Mobile, Jackson County. Or excuse me, Mobile Bay with Jackson and Baldwin counties. And then the very small southern, southwestern part of Alabama, including Monroeville and Atmore. And then barely clipping I forget, I don't know what the name of this county is. All the way back to Gulfport. I got a couple of special warnings going on. We got a special marine warning for northern Mobile Bay and southern Mobile Bay until 10:45 p.m. Eastern or Central Time, I should say. So that will water spouts are possible. Wind gusts of 34 knots or greater with large hail. So they're watching for that out in Mobile Bay, and that's entirely possible for water spouts to be out there. You got another special weather statement for this little small piece of land. This is going to be 4 miles north of Alabama Port and 9 miles east of Bayou Alabatry. Moving east at 20 miles per hour. Gusty winds 30 miles per hour with nickel-sized hail being possible. See several of you jumping in the stream. Welcome. Appreciate you being here. Go ahead and jump in the chat and let me know who's here and that kind of stuff. Let's take a look at a camera here and just see what we got to see. This is in Pascagoula, Mississippi. And looks pretty calm there. That's not what I want. Let's try this again. There we go. Everything looks all in calm in Pascagoula. Do I have any other cameras down in that area? Not really. All right. So, now that we've looked at tonight, let's look at tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting situation. Hello to Nick Wassasum. Nick Wassasum. Sorry, I'm probably butchering that. Tomorrow, go moderate. Interesting question. Well, we're going to go through all of it. Guys, if you're in the chat, go ahead and share out the stream. Get as many people in here as you can. I'd certainly appreciate it. Let's take a look at tomorrow's information. Let's turn this off. Let's go to categorical. All right, we got a lot going on tomorrow. So the green area is your level 1 out of 5. Let's take a look at that. I'm going to give you some cities and areas like that. So the marginal risk includes 19 million folks, and that's going to be Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, Columbus, Little Rock, and we'll hit a few others. Knoxville's in it, all the way down to Albany, Georgia, that is, Tallahassee, Apalachicola, Panama City, Destin, circling back College Station, Texas, up to Little Rock, Jackson, Tennessee, Dyersburg, so to speak. Let's go ahead and take a look at the, go back to the thing. The yellow area is a slight risk, and you're talking about 13 million folks. Big areas include Houston, New Orleans, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Shreveport. And then the orange, tan, whatever color you want to call this, is an enhanced area, looking at 3,579,000 folks involved in that area. Baton Rouge, Jackson, Mississippi, Monroe, Louisiana, Hattiesburg, and Alexandria, Louisiana is going to be part of that. Now, I want to turn this off and turn on the tornado risk. Let y'all take a look at what this looks like. So we've got several things going on. 2% risk is going to be Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, Columbus, Georgia, Little Rock, Arkansas. 5% is going to be Houston, Texas, New Orleans, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Shreveport. 10% area is going to be Baton Rouge, Jackson, Monroe, Hattiesburg, and Alexandria. But we also have a significant severe hatched area. This is a big deal, folks. This could, and to Nick's point, moderate could be possible. I'm not going to bank on that at this point, but it is entirely possible. You got Baton Rouge, Jackson, Monroe, Hattiesburg, and Alexandria also into that. So we call that the hatched area. You can see this black outline with the hatched lines in it. All this area is going to have an enhanced risk for tornadoes tomorrow. And when I use enhanced, I don't mean enhanced as in the risk area. I mean, they are saying that this is a much more favorable environment for tornadoes tomorrow. But anywhere from Lake Jackson and College Station, Texas, up to Knoxville, Tennessee, Nashville, Little Rock, over to Atlanta, down to Tallahassee, anybody in this area could see tornadoes tomorrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at some model data. Let's try. I don't think the HRRR is going to go out far enough for us yet. We'll take a look here in a minute. Let me turn off these outlooks. Not the one I want. I want this one here. Turn off the outlook. Cool. I want to get rid of the surface analysis. Where is it? Gotta be in here somewhere. Oh, nope, still not what I'm looking for. Oh well. Yep, I'm just not going to be able to lose it. Alright, so ignore the surface analysis here. We're going to just take a look at the model data. So we're going to start off with a significant tornado parameter and see what we're working with here. We'll go out in 11 hours. You can see back into Texas, we see quite a bit along this dry line. Significant tornado parameter. Numbers, values, and anything above a 1 is significant. So you can see we've easily got 1s, we got some 2s and some 3s in there. Let's move on ahead in time just a little bit. And it's not quite ready. All right, let's go back to the 0Z run of the HRRR. Waiting on it to load in. Yeah, we got up to 48 hours view. You can see the instability build in. And over here in Louisiana, you see we get some good STP values. There's a 3, a 3.2. And you can see as we move later in the day, this is 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We got some really good STP numbers up in the 4s into central Louisiana. And then around 5 o'clock, you just see the STP numbers just explode. Big numbers all the way from Lake Charles up to Greenville, Mississippi, over to Jackson. And then even higher numbers as we move on into 6. Here's 6.8. This is serious, guys. We're going to have some major tornadoes tomorrow in the state of Louisiana and potentially over in the Mississippi. Now we start to lose some daylight, but we still have a few pockets of very high STP numbers. And now we're up to 10 p.m. Back to the regional view, you can see we have STP values all the way up to Jackson, Tennessee. However, they're not of big concern up until you get to about, what is that? I-22. I-22 and south is where the significant numbers are. As we move into the nightfall, we're here at 11 p.m. You see the tornado threat moves out of Mississippi into Alabama. You see potential here for supercells in Alabama, western Alabama tomorrow evening. We're at 1 o'clock Sunday morning at this point, and you can see it starts to fade down finally. All right, let's look at the reflectivity, the projected reflectivity. Let's see. All right, it's loading the data in, so bear with it just a minute. All right, here we are, 8 at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can already see quite a bit of thunderstorm activity developing out here in the Arklatex region, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana. And then, as we move through time, here is noon tomorrow. You see we've got a pretty good MCS up here over northeast Texas from Tyler to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Pretty good MCS forming, but here's where we really need to watch out down in here. Down in this area right here, you can see these individual discrete cells. That's where you're going to see your supercell tornadoes develop. Move on through time. Here we are at 2 o'clock tomorrow, 3, 4, even as early as 4 o'clock. We see some discrete cells out in front of the system here in western Alabama. These could pose a threat. Move on here. You see Tennessee starting to get on some of the action, and all these right here, you can see. Zoom in a little bit here on Louisiana. All of these cells, yes, they're part of the MCS, but you can see they've also got these shapes. These could very easily be supercells, rotating supercells for the possibility of tornadoes there in Louisiana tomorrow. Here we are at 7 p.m., seeing some indications of a few supercells over south central Alabama. Let's see here, moving forward, 8 and 9 and then 10. All right, so here we've converted more into a quasi-linear storm complex. That's a QLCS, and basically what we're going to have is very, very strong winds right through here. Okay, right along the front. Basically, what's happening is this cold air mass is meeting with the warm air mass out in front of it that's over Alabama and Georgia, and you got the clash here. It has some very, very strong winds along that front. You can see the warm front is going over Tennessee at that point. We move on a little bit. We got some prefrontal activity right in front of the front into western Alabama. Every single one of these are going to have to be watched in western Alabama tomorrow. Every single one of them. They are entirely possible that those could be supercells. Anything that's out in front of a main line, you've got to watch very, very closely. Very, very closely. Those could be of major concern for rotating updrafts. Still looking at the main line here in eastern Mississippi from Corinth down to Tupelo, Columbus, Meridian, and Hattiesburg down to Slidell. Moving on to midnight, just a little bit of forward movement. And then you can see by 1 o'clock, we're starting to see this all kind of look a little different. So you can see this main QLCS is trying to start absorbing this prefrontal activity out through here. So that could be the start of the end of the supercell threat. Not saying it's going to be, but it could be the start of the end of it. Clear off the telestration here. And we move on, and you can see this has pretty much absorbed all of that now. You've got major thunderstorms moving through the mid-state of Tennessee between Nashville and Crossville, Tennessee. Strong storms moving through Montgomery by 3 a.m., 4, and then 5. You have the storms coming through Knoxville, Tennessee, on down towards Auburn, knocking on the door of Atlanta, on down to Dothan. And then by 6, 7 o'clock, storms are moving out of Tennessee and are well east of Atlanta at that point. So, yeah, could there be a moderate risk tomorrow? I'd say it's possible. I would not say likely. I just know how the SPC is. They're generally pretty conservative when it comes to these things. Not saying it's out of the realm. It wouldn't surprise me if they went moderate, though. All right, we got a severe thunderstorm warning here. Let's go ahead and hit this real quick. This has just popped up. National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Baldwin County, southwest Alabama until 11 p.m. Central Time. At 10:12 p.m. Central Time, a severe thunderstorm was located over Point Clear, moving east at 20 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust, and half dollar size hail. Locations packed include Summerdale, Robertsdale, Foley. Foley, that's home of Lambert's, I believe it is, where they throw the rolls at you. Fairhope, Point Clear, and Silver Hill. And they're also saying for your protection, move to an interior room. Lots of lightning in this. We'll get a better look at it on the Mobile Doppler radar. If I can, where are you? You're on the map somewhere. There you are. All right, so there it is. This is just going to be south of Daphne. Take a look at the velocity data here. No real signs of rotation. Nothing jumping out at me of concern with rotation. We'll take a look at some of the attributes. Yeah, it's got a 4 on the mesoscale. Could it be spinning? It could, but probably not. Hail is going to be a 100% probability, it says, with a maximum of 1 inch in diameter hail. That is most likely what has triggered that severe thunderstorm warning, is that hail threat. We'll go ahead and take a switch to the vertically integrated liquid product, which is our hail tracker. Yeah, that's what they've done. You can see this maximum right here. You definitely have some hail falling in Mobile Bay right now, about to move into Fairhope. So if you've got a garage and you're down in that area, you might want to put the car up. Pardon me. Still got the special marine warning out there for potential for water spouts. Got another one out in the Gulf. We won't focus too much on that. There's still just some concerns about water spouts. Actually, that's a pretty good looking supercell out there. I bet there is a water spout somewhere out into there. So that's really about it. Guys, jump in the comments, or the chat. Let me know who's here, who's watching. I appreciate you being with me here. We're burning the midnight oil once again. Here on December the 27th. It is 11:27 my time. If you have any questions about the weather, let me know. I'm happy to try to answer some stuff. Well, somebody didn't have a question because somebody left. That's all right, though. Do we have any other cameras down there we can look at? Not so much. Dothan radar doesn't really impress me. Panama City doesn't really either. Let's see if we can see anything looking off from Red Level, Alabama. Pretty dark if you ask me, except for these Christmas lights down here in the corner. It's not really seeing much lightning involved in that. Got a little curly Q here. I bet you there's some strong winds out in front, crossing over the the Alabama-Florida line right now. Let's see. We'll switch back to velocity. Ooh. Well, hell, numbers came up a little bit. Nope, different scan, that's why. Chris says, I'm still here just watching the weather. Good. That's what we're here for. Yeah, probably some stout winds crossing the Florida, Alabama line. Bay Springs is getting hit right now. Tenile approaching Barnow Park. over toward Highway 97 and Highway 29. Nothing entirely too crazy. What was the expiration on that? Well, so we got 33 minutes. Got 30 minutes on this, so we will stick with it for a little while, see how this develops. Got Weather Tracker Clint in the house. What you think tomorrow? Tomorrow is my big day. Where are you, Clint? It's hard for me to say what to expect in your area, but yeah, we were just going over that a moment ago. Tomorrow's going to be a very interesting day when it comes to our severe weather threats. We'll go ahead and put that back up here. All right, so you got a marginal risk from Houston all the way up towards Knoxville, Tennessee, and over to Tallahassee. You got a level 2 out of 5 risk, a slight risk, most of Alabama, over back towards Houston. And then you have a level 3 out of 5 risk, an enhanced risk, most of central Louisiana, northeast Louisiana, over towards Mississippi and very, very western Alabama. But that's not what concerns me the most. Within that particular zone, we also have a hatched area for tornadoes. This is the tornado risk. Excuse me. You got some sick folks around here, and throat's been a little scratchy since then. Yeah, tomorrow, looking at a pretty decent risk of tornadoes throughout most of Louisiana, from Lake Charles up to Monroe, over to Greenville and Grenada, Mississippi, Columbus, Mississippi, down to Demopolis, just to the west of Tuscaloosa, over into just north of the Mobile Bay area, on down towards Baton Rouge. I can't help it. I got to say it like that. So, yeah, tomorrow's the big day. Tomorrow we're going to see quite a bit of situations going on. Over Dallas, most of this is going to be east of you tomorrow. So I wouldn't be too terribly concerned in Dallas. Anybody else got questions in the chat? Let me know. Guys, if you've not been here before, this is typically a ham radio channel. I do a lot of ham radio content. However, I'm a weather fan too. I'm a weather nerd. We use ham radio to communicate during severe weather here in my area. So appreciate you being here. Boy, look at that supercell out over the water. Bet you money there's a water spout there. You could definitely have conflicting winds in that. We'll go back to here. Actually, yeah, that'll work. All right, so you got winds coming away from the radar site here. You got them going towards the radar site. So you certainly have your counterclockwise rotation there. Bet you money there's a water spout out there in the ocean right now in the Gulf. Very pretty. Yeah, if you haven't already hit that subscribe button, especially if you're on YouTube, I appreciate your subscriptions. We are growing this channel very rapidly, and if you like my content, get involved in the weather content, especially the weather stuff. The more I see interaction with the weather stuff, the more I'm liable to jump on live if we have an event. If I don't go live, though, a good person to follow is at SpanWX on YouTube. That's James Spann. He's the chief meteorologist out of Birmingham, Alabama. We had him live here on HamShackTV a couple of months ago, but he was actually live streaming during the Mobile tornado warning just a little while ago. So if I don't go live, definitely go check out James, especially if you're in the Alabama area. He's on top of it, guys. He's just fantastic. Folks in Alabama are very fortunate to have him. N9XC Chris says, I like to stay on top of the weather also. Well, that's very good. You never can be too aware of the weather. That's just the way I see it. All right, so we are tracking one severe thunderstorm warning here coming out of Mobile Bay over towards Summerdale and Robertsville, or Robertsdale. Robertsdale. Little storm tracking icon was in the way. Am I still on the Mobile radar? Yeah, this just doesn't look as impressive anymore to me. We'll go ahead and put this in motion, let y'all see it move. We'll add a few more frames to it. There you go. You can just see it moving across here. We'll add a few more. Let's go 30 frames. How about that? I want to go back a little while here. Let's go back 100 frames because Mobile did have the tornado warning earlier today. I'll take a look at that. So you can see all these tornado icons earlier. Yeah, a little bit of hook right there. Yeah, definitely. Let's do a side by side on that. Yep, right there's a little bit of a couplet. Yeah, a little bit of conflict winds there. They probably seen something. Let's hit the when was this bio? Oh, that was at 5:30 this afternoon. Wow. Yeah, we're not going back that far. All right, let's come back current here. 16 folks watching on YouTube, 1 watching on Facebook. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you watching HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX, here in Tennessee. As I was telling folks earlier, this is typically a ham radio channel, but when we do have severe weather, hurricanes, stuff like that, I do like to cover the weather. I'm a big weather nerd myself. A little bit more than your average Skywarn training. I've got friends that are meteorologists, several of them, and I've always been passionate about this stuff. Not really seeing anything alarming here with this anymore. I want to go over towards the hail tracker and take a look. Yeah, we can see the hail coming up ashore here in Battles Wharf. Probably some large hail falling right around Section Street over towards Greeno Road, Highway 98. Severe thunderstorm warning for Baldwin County. This is Baldwin County in southwestern Alabama. Can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all hanging out with me here this evening. We certainly do. Certainly appreciate you. And if we have a big event tomorrow night, I'll be right here too. Again, I can never promise you that I'll be like Ryan Hall, y'all, or whatever you want to call it, and be on there every single time there's a tornado warning. But if it's a very impactful event, I'll try to be here. Just had a flash flood warning. So had a few things issued here. Let's touch on this. There's a flash flood warning was just issued for southern Baldwin County until 1:30 a.m., saying between 2 and 3 inches have already fallen, with additional heavy rainfall to come. Daphne, Fairhope, Robertsdale, Point Clear, Loxley, Summerdale, Silver Hill, Rossington, Stillwood, Bell Forest, Malbus, Clay City, Elsinore, Montrose, Gateswood, Bridgehead, and Battles Wharf. So flash flood warning until 1:30 a.m. Central Time for Baldwin County. Also just had this special weather statement just issued at 10:30 p.m. Central Time. Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms along the line extending from 13 miles southwest of Bratt to 8 miles west of Molino to 12 miles west of Gonzales to 7 miles east of Robertsdale, moving east at 20 miles per hour. Wind gust up to 40 miles per hour and penny-sized hail are radar indicated. Places like Pea Ridge, Golding, Ferry Pass, Ensley, Molino, Gonzales, Pace, Florida Town, Point Baker, and Brent. If outdoors, consider seeking shelter inside of a building. Well, no kidding. Appreciate that. So yeah, we've got a rapidly developing situation here, and the reason they've issued that is because of this curlicue here. Definitely got evidence of some very strong winds moving through that area as we speak. You can see right here it is, and right here it is. And what you see here is the reds. The reds are the winds going away from the radar site. Greens are going towards the radar site, okay? So you can just see high winds are approaching Highway 29. Let's hit the chat here real quick. Tracker Clint's here. Well, he's been here. Appreciate you still being here. KI5ZIF. Appreciate you. Oh, that's cool. I like how that animates. I'm still learning. Guys, I stream with StreamYard. So I'm still learning this software. It's pretty cool, though. Who else is in here? Get in the chat. Let me know who's all watching. Looks like they're calling this $50 size hail. Southwestern Baldwin County. In that Sevier County, east at 20 miles an hour. Let's take a look at that hail one more time. We'll track that hail core for you. Hail core seems to be collapsing a little bit, so that's good news. I always click the wrong button. Maybe after one of these streams, I'll finally learn it. 25 mile an hour. All right, so I don't have a whole lot of cities popping up on this. Fair hope the hail core should be there. Well, it's there now, just to be honest with you. Clay City, you'll be seeing the hail core. Clay City's right here. You'll be seeing it in about 13 minutes. I'll track this out one more time, get some more cities in here. Silver Hill, 22 minutes. Robertsdale in 29 minutes. And Summerdale, 30 minutes. That's the hail core. Again, they were seeing some $50 size hail in that. That seems to have diminished some. At least we'll hope that's the case. Bay Minette. Oops. Areas like Bay Minette and Satsuma, Saraland, Pritchard, and probably Mobile. It's Mobile proper. I would imagine that the worst of the weather tonight is past you. See if I can get an update from the Weather Service here. This is just the typical wintertime severe weather. It seems like Mobile constantly gets severe weather around Christmas time. All right, seeing some emergency management personnel in Baldwin County saying it's raining pretty hard in Fairhope right now. You can see where they were talking about the flash flood warning. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's hit this. And this is where the significant weather advisory was earlier, and it's because of the wind. National Weather Service in Mobile has issued severe thunderstorm warning for western Santa Rosa County and central Escambia County until 11:30 p.m. Central Time. At 10:43, severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 7 miles south of Brat to 5 miles southwest of Molino, moving to 6 miles west of Gonzales, 6 miles north of Lillian, moving east at 20 miles per hour. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and nickel-size hail are possible. Locations impacted include Pea Ridge, Ferry Pass, Ensley, Molino, Gonzales Pace, Rowville, Baghdad, Florida Town, Point Baker, Brent, and Milton. Milton is a bad word. I don't want to talk about Milton. No offense to the residents of Milton here. So this is going just to the north of Pensacola, but it's based off of this curly Q right here. And we were talking about that earlier. That's all those strong winds pushing that out. It's why they've issued this. And take another look at the winds here. That's not wind. That's hail. Not a whole lot of hail here. Here's a little core here. And then it just really diminished on that latest scan. But here's your winds. Nothing extremely impressive. You can tell that there's definitely strong winds pushing that along, though. Trying to look, see if I've got any better radar images here. Yeah, this is a little better. Keep in mind, though, we're shooting way up into the storm right here. Way up high into the storm. So these are going to be a little inflated. But yeah, that's a much better representation of the winds moving into that area. We'll go back over here to Mobile. Check on our storm around Foley. I'm just not seeing this storm around Foley being a threat really much anymore. Definitely still take it serious, but it's just not really impressing me near as much as this deal over here to the north of Pensacola is. Let me go back to the I don't even know what radar site that is. EVX. I'm gonna call it Panama City because it's pretty close to Panama City. So this is just moving just to the north of I-10 above Pensacola. Do have a slight conflict of winds just to the north of Foley, but it's very broad. I wouldn't be too terribly concerned on it. Enough just to keep an eye on it. Again, if you're just tuning in, welcome into HamShackTV. I'm your host, Josh, AA4WX. I'm not a meteorologist. I do not try to be a meteorologist, but I do enjoy watching weather. It kind of goes good with our hobby. So we're just hanging out watching radar here for a little while. We'll see if anything tends to cause any issues tonight. If you're just joining, we have had A few tornado reports today. There's 2 reports over here in Mobile County, and then also one down by Bayou La Battery, but I always call it Bayou Al Battery because that's what Bubba called it on Forrest Gump. Or no, Forrest called it that. Got a flash flood emergency that has just popped up. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Flash flood emergency for Latimer and Von Cleve. National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued flash flood warning for central Jackson County and southern Mississippi until 1:45 a.m. Central Time. At 10:44 p.m. Central Time, law enforcement reported people trapped in vehicles on flooded roads near Jean Street in Latimer and several other water rescues across Jackson County. Between 6 and 8 inches of rain have fallen. Additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches of rain are possible for the warned area. Flash flooding is already occurring. This is a flash flood emergency for Latimer and Von Cleve and is a particularly dangerous situation. Seek higher ground now. This is law enforcement reported. So this is not radar indicated. This is law enforcement reported. Very serious situation in Jackson County. Let's take a look at some up-to-date information here. Come back to our mobile radar. And then we'll switch this product over to storm total precipitation. Oh, yes. Quite a bit of, look there. 10, 12. You got some areas that's seen a foot of rain just out of this. Insane amounts of rain. There's no doubt why they needed to issue that flash flood emergency. So if you have folks just to the northeast of Biloxi and just to the northwest of Pascagoula, make sure they're aware and they're in a safe place away from any flood-prone areas. And you can see we've got quite a bit of rain that has fallen over Mobile Bay and just to the southwest of the Mobile Doppler radar site. Dangerous stuff. Nick Gurr. Hello, Nick. Appreciate you being there. Don't mind to give a shout out ever. Happy to do that. Let's go back to the velocity. And we'll switch back over here to the Panama City radar site. You still got this pretty strong wind crossing over the Highway 27 or Highway 97 and Highway 29 intersection right now. If you're just tuning in, let's take a look around the country here and see anything else that's going on. We have this frontal system that's all the way going all the way from the Gulf, just east of New Orleans, all the way up into Maryland. With the whole low, this is a huge system, y'all. Look how large this is compared to what it was yesterday. So yesterday it was right around the low pressure system was right around the Arklatex region. Now your low pressure is up here into eastern Iowa. You got snow going on here in Minnesota and Wisconsin and Michigan, with trailing cold front going down the Appalachians, all the way just to the east of New Orleans. We're going to see this again tomorrow, except tomorrow's going to be a much more robust system. Going to be a lot to keep up with tomorrow. Real quickly, We'll take a look at. I messed something up. I made Nick's day. Great. Appreciate that. So here's your SPC outlook for tomorrow, and I know the colors don't show up the greatest for you guys, but this green area is going to be your level 1 out of level 1 out of 5 risk. Your yellow is your level 2 out of 5 risk, and this tannish area is going to be your level 3 out of 5 risk. But what's even more concerning is the tornado threat tomorrow. Green is a 2%. This brown is 5%, and the black is a significant severe weather situation tomorrow. We will likely have tornadoes in this area tomorrow, from Lake Charles up to Monroe to Jackson. Trying to get Greenville, Grenada, Mississippi, Columbus, Mississippi, over to Demopolis, Alabama, on down into Jackson, Alabama, Poplarville, Wiggins, Hattiesburg, over to Baton Rouge. So we will likely see some major tornadoes in that area. Roblox, appreciate you being here. I think we just hit this right at the right time. We are definitely looking at Saturday. So tomorrow is going to be a dangerous day. I want to first, let's take off the data off the screen here, and we will go here and get rid of this. We're going to take a look at the model data for tomorrow, and let y'all see what it's saying about the situation tomorrow. We'll go back to this. There we go. All right. Data's loading here. Bear with me. You live in the black. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, keep an eye out, because here we're about to go through it right now. Everything we're expecting tomorrow. All right. So here we are at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have storms firing over northern Texas, Dallas, the Metroplex, all that area, over towards Tyler. As you can see, by 8 o'clock, they really explode over that area. Then you start seeing storms popping up all over Mississippi, or all over Louisiana, with some into southern Mississippi around Hattiesburg. This is just going to rapidly develop through the day. You can see things are getting more vibrant and large and quick. And all these right here could be supercells. But what really concerns me more than anything is out in front of that main system, you see all these small little cells on their own. Those are concerning, especially when they're out away from any organized rainfall. That means they have a mind of their own. They have a life of their own. They can develop into much larger situations. They can spin. They can rotate. They can drop tornadoes a lot easier. There's nothing to rob their energy away from them. So these discrete supercells out in front, we'll be watching very carefully. Move forward in time. Here we are at 5 o'clock, 6, and then 7. Keep in mind, these are all Eastern times. Now we've morphed into more of a QLCS situation here, and I'll draw this out here. So you see this line that we've got formed. A QLCS is a quasi-linear convective system. So basically a cold front, so to speak. You've got this going on, but out here in front, we still have all this cellular activity, individual cells. Got to still keep an eye on those. We move forward in time to 8 o'clock Eastern time tomorrow. Still got some individual cells out in front. None of these are got really big numbers, but still going to have to watch them. Moving on to 9. Here's 10. Here's 11. Now, notice this. I want you to keep your eye on this area right here, okay? As we move on into the next, see how we just all of a sudden have an eruption of storms right there? Could see some supercells, a line of supercells right there. Very, very concerning. We'll just have to see how it plays out, especially if we get any sunshine anywhere in this area tomorrow. We're going to have problems. Moving forward into midnight, this will be Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning. You can see these two lines kind of merge together, and we start a weakening trend. Here's 3 a.m. Eastern Time, 4, 5, and 6, and it's on out east of Atlanta. And there we go. Cold air is going to move in. We're going to see temperatures drop a little bit. So there you go. Let's take a look at the significant tornado parameter. Let's see. There we go. We're going to back up a little bit. Let this all load in. So anything over 1 unit is considerable. And you can see we easily get these numbers in. Anything over 1 unit on the significant tornado parameter is concerning. So your main bullseye, in my opinion, for tornadic storms will be right in here. Okay. That could be an area of concern. Mark and Roblox are both asking, will they go moderate? It's hard to say. If I was a gambling man, I'd say no. Because I know the Weather Service, SPC, are typically pretty conservative. I don't think they would go moderate, but I wouldn't say it's impossible. They could. They've gone moderate at times when I haven't really thought that they should. Let's take a look at the instability numbers. And you can see we've got nice instability in place. We'll start from now moving forward. So you can see easily getting good numbers here to 2,300 in Louisiana, joules per kilogram. So CAPE is your convective available potential energy. It's to measure the instability in the atmosphere. And really, this time of year, you don't need a lot. I mean, couple 300-400, you can have severe weather. Numbers like this in the summertime right here is what you would want in the summertime. But in the wintertime, this is a heck of a lot of CAPE. Heck of a lot of instability. And you can see as time goes on, once this gets into western Alabama, you're still up at over 1,000 joules of CAPE, and then it's just rapidly decreasing. You got to remember, too, as the sun goes down, the instability will certainly decrease. All right, let's go back to the radar data and take a look and check on our storm down here near Pensacola. Let's see. There we go. Still got this nice curly Q going. They have dropped the severe thunderstorm warning that was back around Foley. Take a look at the velocity data. Several of you watching, appreciate you being here if you haven't been here before. This is typically a ham radio channel, but I do like weather, and we're just doing a little weather coverage tonight. So if you like my content, want to see more weather content, hit that subscribe button and share out the video and let folks know we're here. The more interaction I see, the more likely I am to do more weather broadcasts. And we'll check on the hail. Not much hail there. There could be some, but not much. Tops of these storms are quite intense. Let's go back to velocity, but then we're going to go to single. And we're going to take a 3D look at this. Who else is doing this for you guys? We'll take a 3D look at the storm. And there we go. Got some pretty decent sized tops here. Could be some hail producers, especially where you see some of this white color. Right in here. And then right in here. Probably not likely, but it could be some hail. So yeah, I love doing this. Most all TV stations have the ability to do the 3D stuff, but they don't. They don't typically do it. I'm not quite sure why. But pretty cool stuff. We'll take another different look at it. We're going to just slice through this curly Q here. So there you go. This is a feature that I really like. You can see how high the storm is up in the atmosphere, 35,000 feet. And then you can see we're slicing right through the main leading section of that. So quite a bit there. Anybody got questions? Get in the comments or chat. Let me know who's all here. What kind of questions you got? How can I better assist? What would you like to see on these weather streams? Do want to let folks know where we are with some of these major things. We got several flash flood warnings. I don't typically like to cover flash flood warnings because they're just so long in duration. But this is a big situation here. We got a flash flood emergency for Latimer and Van Cleve, which is in central Jackson County in southern Mississippi. They got water rescues in progress. Very dangerous situation in Jackson County, Mississippi. Flash flood emergency going on. And then the other thing we're looking at is still this severe thunderstorm warning. This is for western Santa Rosa County and central Escambia County until 11:30 p.m. Central Time. About another 24 minutes away. And the reason being is we've got very strong winds moving into I believe that's Escambia County. I believe it is. I'm not from Florida, folks, so bear with me on some of these county names. I believe Escambia. Actually, it may be Santa Rosa. I think Escambia is Pensacola and Milton is in Santa Rosa. All right, we'll talk here real quickly. Got some updates from the Mobile National Weather Service talking about the thunderstorm with the severe thunderstorm warning. The rear inflow jet and echo drying behind the Boeing storm moving into northwest Florida. That prompted them to issue the severe thunderstorm warning. Main concern is the Boeing segment. They're also saying they're seeing several personal weather stations west Mobile approaching 5 inches of rain for the day. Several sites in southern Mobile County are now sitting at 3 to 4 inches. That's why they just issued a new flash flood warning, which we'll cover that real quick since that is in Mobile County, very large population center. West Central Mobile County flash flood warning until 12:15. We'll take a look at the rainfall estimates there. Get back over that particular radar site. So yeah, they've had some impactful rain, that's for sure. Kind of concerned on why we don't have a flash flood warning down here because they've had quite a bit of rain there as well. Bellefontaine and Mont Louis and Faustinus. Oh, these Cajun names, they try to kick my butt. Now here's where this flash flood emergency is, over in southern Mississippi, just to the north of Ocean Springs and Pascagoula. Check out some of this as we query the data. Over a foot of rain And this is storm total rainfall. Just incredible amounts of rain. It was very well warranted a flash flood emergency on that, where they do have water rescues in progress. Come back over towards Florida. And we'll switch radar sides. This radar side is just getting a much better image of this. Looky here, what we got going on there. We are shooting way up high in the storm, so keep that in mind. Got a little hell core back towards Summerdale, not a whole lot. A little bit of, could be some pea-size hail or something going on in that. Half-inch size hail, okay. So it's going to be the north of Beulah, Florida. We'll just real quickly take that back 3D. That way you can see the heights on this thing. We're looking up Escambia Bay. And you can see that top right there. Quite impressive. Quite tall thunderstorm. Back out of that, and we'll do a volumetric scan. And of course it faded out before I got a chance to look at it. You see, we're about 31,000 feet up. You can tell a big difference in the quality of the storm just by the two radar sites. So this is pretty much right in between this radar site over near, I guess that's Ponce de Leon. It's between Ponce de Leon and Rosemary Beach. I've been calling it the Panama City radar. But this storm is right in between the two, so pick the difference. I would rather shoot into the storm than shoot through other rain to look at another storm. This Boeing segment's not really impressing me as much anymore. Go back to the velocity data. Yeah, it's not quite impressing me like it was. Several of you watching, appreciate you being here. If you're new here, thanks for watching. If you like my weather content, hit the subscribe button, get in the chat, let me know who's here. Hit the like button too. You hitting that thumbs up button, folks, you don't know how much that helps the channel grow. I just broke my desk again. I'm gonna have to do some more repair work to it. And again, this channel usually covers ham radio content, but us in the ham radio community, we also follow weather really closely. So appreciate you being here. I'm not going to try to sell you some piece of paper weather or snowfall gauge like some other YouTubers. If I want to sell you anything, I'm going to sell you ham radio. Or at least ham radio licensing. It's just, we're here for the life and safety for sure. Got questions? Jump in the chat. Let me know. Happy to answer questions. All right. Real quick, we'll jump out of Florida and just head up north and take a look at this snowstorm just for funsies. How about that? We won't stay up here long because we do want to pay attention to the folks in Florida. It's mostly rain. Still mostly rain. Alright. So yeah, up here in the UP of Michigan, you're starting to see some mixing and stuff. Got a clipper coming in. Check that out. Alright. Told you we weren't going to spend too much time there. Appreciate everybody being here and trusting me with your weather content. It's fun. Okay, it looks like they've let the severe thunderstorm warning go. Let me confirm that. Certainly looks like it. Just confirming with the weather service that it is gone. Okay, the Boeing segment sliding across northwest Florida is falling apart. That is likely to be north of the boundary. They are canceling the warning. So they have canceled that severe thunderstorm warning. So that's some good news for sure. Let's get to work and let's talk about what's going to happen tomorrow. Real quick, and then we'll call it a day. What do y'all think? At least for now. I want to get this stuff off the radar, though. I don't want y'all to have to look at this. I want to show you where is surface fronts. Lord have mercy. There we go. We got that off there. All right, so that's a big step in the right direction. And we'll get rid of all these dots, okay? So all the individual dots that you're seeing here now, those are all the radar sites within the country. We're going to get to work on looking at model data here in just a moment. But first, let's go over the severe weather threat tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night will pose significant severe weather situations. We'll take a look at this. This will be updated here in a few hours from the National Weather Service. Got a level 1 out of 5 risk for severe weather from Dallas all the way over to Knoxville, Tennessee, to Atlanta to Tallahassee. We've got a level 2 slight risk from about Huntsville, Alabama back to Houston. And then a level 3 out of 5 risk from about Tuscaloosa, Alabama back to Lake Charles. Now, that's not what concerns me the most. What concerns me the absolute most is the tornado threat tomorrow. I got a couple of areas. So what I really want you to pay attention to is this black area right here with the lines through it. This is a significant hatched area. Anything that's in this black line, you have a much higher risk of tornadoes tomorrow. And they could be strong and deadly tornadoes. Well, any tornado could be deadly, but could be very significant tornadoes. So let's pull that off of there. We'll go and look at the models for tomorrow. Let's get rid of this. Boom. And then we'll go back here and here. Models, convection allowing, HRRR. Perfect. How much data? I don't have enough there. And we're going to go back to this. All right, surface-based CAPE. We won't even look at that. We'll just look at the reflectivity. Letting it all load in here. What is that? That's not even, there it is. All right, so you can see the situation develop tomorrow morning. Very quickly, you're going to see storms start to spark over northeast Texas, the Metroplex, Fort Worth, Dallas, over towards Tyler and Longview. You see storms starting to develop really rapidly here, but also you see them all throughout central Louisiana and southern Mississippi. As we progress through the day, here's noon. Most of southern Arkansas and southeastern Oklahoma are covered in a rain shield. But you also have these individual little cells out in front of the main line. So those are all going to have to be watched for rotating updrafts. We move on to, here's 5 o'clock tomorrow. We start to see a QLCS develop right along the Mississippi River Valley between Shreveport and Baton Rouge. But you still have all this individual discrete stuff out in front of it. Move forward, it crosses the Mississippi River, still got discrete cells out in front of it. And then you got the main QLCS back to the back. We move forward in time. Now here's where I have a lot of concerns. Watch this area right here around the Mississippi-Alabama border. Boom, all of a sudden we have a pretty good line of individual supercells. This will be right around 11 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, so 10 o'clock Central time. We're going to have to watch these very closely. It could have several rotating updrafts there. It could drop tornadoes. We move on through time. Here we are at 1 a.m. Eastern time, 2 a.m. Eastern time. This is all really morphed into one QLCS. Moving on here. Most year, I don't really see a great big severe weather threat for East Tennessee tomorrow, but certainly in the Middle Tennessee, south of Nashville, down to Memphis, Huntsville. You could certainly see some threats tomorrow. And by 5 a.m., it's in Knoxville, Tennessee, extending down towards Atlanta. Could still have some severe weather into the Georgia area. Not really expecting it in eastern Tennessee. Here's 6 a.m. and 7 a.m. Most all your severe weather, if any is left, would be limited down to the southwest Georgia area and southeast Alabama. Columbus, that kind of area. If there's any severe weather left, that's where it would be. Moving on to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is all Sunday morning at this point. Got cold air with a northwest flow moving in on the back side of it. You can see that right here. Most of this up here should probably be snow, I would imagine. And with a little bit of developing precipitation behind it. Too far out to tell. So let's go back one more time to the SPC outlook tomorrow and touch on that one last time. We're just going to skip everything else and go straight to tornado. Folks, in this black area with the lines, this is a significant enhanced risk for tornadoes. That's going to cover areas like Alexandria, Ruston, Monroe, and somebody in the comments told me how to pronounce this today, and I forgot. Sorry. Nacogdoches, sure. Winfield, Leeville, Many, Alexandria, Marksville, Lake Charles, Lake Lafayette, Baton Rouge, Hattiesburg, Macomb, Franklinton, Jackson, Mississippi, on up to Meridian, Demopolis, Alabama, Starkville. So both of your Mississippi, yeah, I believe so. Both of your Mississippi universities will be under that risk tomorrow. Both Mississippi State and Ole Miss, I do believe. Nope, Oxford's up here. Never mind. Nonetheless, if you're in Mississippi, be ready for tornadic thunderstorms tomorrow evening. So that's going to about wrap it up. Don't see any other major severe weather at this time. One last time I'm going to hit this thunderstorm down here in, well, it's not really a thunderstorm anymore, but this flash flood emergency. We do have a flash flood emergency for Latimer and Van Cleve, Louisiana. No, sorry, Mississippi. Until 1:45 a.m., they do have water rescues in progress, as reported by law enforcement. And real quickly, let you see the storm total precipitation, and that right there is why that's going on. Over a foot of rain with this system in that area. So, folks, let's go ahead and call it a night. I appreciate y'all watching. If you're new here and haven't already, hit that subscribe button up above. It certainly helps the channel. Notification bell next to it. That'll give you an indication anytime I go live here on HamShackTV. And if you like the weather content, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the get in the comments. All that good stuff helps the algorithm. Let me know. Send me a message if you like the content. Josh at aa4wx.com. So that's going to wrap it up for me tonight, y'all. I'm going to go crash because I have a feeling we're going to be busy tomorrow night. I thank you for watching. I hope you have a great night in 73. This is AA4WX, WSEB 693.